So the other day, I was looking up loneliness as a social contagion, and I found that it actually does exist, and it spreads. And I believe that society is heading in this direction over the next 50 years. And it's actually been increasing for the past 20 years. Um, where is that? Loneliness can be contagious. So I think this is a very common phenomenon, all thanks to social media and increasing isolation. Let's see here. I see that. Um, Loneliness is contagious, study suggests. People who feel isolated may spread mistrust of social connections. So, this is something that we can get into through isolation. And this is a very common theme, I believe, with this self-love movement in the past 10 years, which it might have started off as, banal or innocent, but the majority of people don't actually need self-love. They need community, connection in order to grow as a person and improve. And we need support systems. We're social beings, and uh, that's how we survive. We are not meant to be alone as a species. We're a social species, and it says feelings of loneliness spread through social networks. So they did a study on it, and they found that loneliness appears to be easier to catch from friends than family, to spread more among women than men, and to be most contagious among neighbors who live within a mile of each other. The study also found that loneliness can spread to 3 degrees of separation, as in studies of obesity, smoking, and happiness. One lonely friend makes you 40 to 65% more likely to be lonely, but a lonely friend of a friend increases your chances of loneliness by 14 to 36%. A friend of a friend of a friend adds between 6 and 26%, the study suggests. And where is the rest of it? It's a groundbreaking paper in loneliness literature. And lonely doesn't mean you have no connections. It only means those connections aren't satisfying, though. Loneliness can start as a sense that the world is hostile, which then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Loneliness causes people to be alert for social threats. You engage in more self-protective behavior, which is paradoxically self-defeating. Lonely people can become standoffish and eventually withdraw from their social networks, leaving their former friends less well connected and more likely to mistrust the world themselves. Because loneliness is implicated in health problems ranging from Alzheimer's to heart disease, reconnecting to those who have fallen off the network may be vital for public health. So, yeah, that's what, Um, I hate to bash the self love movement, but a lot of the encouragement within it actually uh, it provokes people to leave others, and it sort of makes any inconvenience in a relationship a reason to exit. And instead of developing characteristics that make you more resilient to problems in life, it makes you less resistant to problems, and people become threats to you. Isolation actually does, it increases your uh, perception of people as threats for some reason. I guess it's a survival instinct. And when you're in a state of survival and you're not connecting to anybody, um, you may not be more prone to accepting others. Um, Loneliness and social isolation. Everyone needs connections to survive and thrive, but as people age, they find themselves spending more time alone. Being alone may leave older adults more vulnerable to loneliness and social isolation. So this was becoming a problem with the elderly a couple years ago, I read, and it's spreading downwards into the younger population. And there's something about kindergartners, a tenth, I don't know, 1/110 of them is reported lonely, which is insane for even children, like I guess in kindergarten or whatever. Adults who are lonely or socially isolated are less healthy, have longer hospital stays, are readmitted to the hospital more often, more likely to die earlier than those with meaningful and supportive connections. And you'll, I guess you're more at risk for the plethora of diseases that are concerning aging. Nope. Okay, let's see. Be kind to others. Try not to take everything personally. Focus on the things that matter to you. Volunteer, meditate, focus on positives, and try not to consider everything a threat. See, a lot of it is like threats. No. I think this is not very helpful article. But like the serious health conditions. Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's interesting. Immigrants LGBTQ at higher risk. well, yes, it's like it's not just in our culture, it's in other cultures because we live vain lives. We're not looking out for others. It's like very um secluding, seclusive. Some people may like being alone. It is also important to note social isolation and loneliness are two distinct aspects of social relationships. There's another one I read earlier. Oh, anyway, I guess we can revisit this later on. But I just wanted to share some of that with you guys on loneliness. And we are very much at risk. Our generation and the generation, um, our generation and the generations that are coming after us, people are not able to connect with each other because they're a part of a social movement that is putting them on the edge of society.